iOS versus Android, which is better? It has become a debate that has people arguing about their smartphone operating systems in a matter of minutes. However, I have to say that the iOS operating system is one that far exceeds that of its competitor, the Android. Now, before you Android lovers come attacking in full force, let me explain my personal experience with both operating systems, some common knowledge, as well as statistical data to prove it to you. Now let's start with my personal experience. My first smartphone was an Android. Many smartphones after that was also Android. It continued that way until Apple finally released iPhone to all wireless providers. Once I was finally able to get an iPhone, I did, and I have never looked back. The overall smoothness of the operating system far exceeds that of the Android. It is user-friendly, easy to learn, and easy to use. I have also noticed that over time the performance of a smartphone based on the Android operating system decreases greatly. It's like the performance of a PC. When you first get the PC, it works fantastically, and then 5 years down the road, you can't even turn the thing on. The iOS operating system is the complete opposite. You get the same performance on day 700 that you would on day 1. I could go on and on about the various reasons as to why the Android is the worst here in regards to operating system, but I do want to move on to a piece of public information that can support why the iOS is better. And what that is that the Android operating system is an open market. When people hear this, they automatically think that it's a good thing, but I can definitely tell you it is not. I want to explain why it isn't. First, let me explain what being an open market means. So when you use the App Store or Android Marketplace, you essentially shop for a new application to use. An open market allows any application to be uploaded to the marketplace, which is then made available to the public. Any application can be uploaded and essentially downloaded without any scrutiny. With iOS, the App Store is essentially a closed market, which means that there is a process that app designers have to go through in order to have an application on the App Store. Now, an Android may be good for developers to get their names out there, but not for the average consumer. An open market essentially means that you are an open system. So that means that you can be downloading anything to your smartphone, and that includes viruses, malwares, anything harmful like that can be downloaded. The open market of an Android is a huge problem and is one of the main reasons why the operating system tends to decrease in performance over time. Because the iOS has a strict process in place for applications, it makes sure that each app does what it's designed to do, with no chance for malware or viruses to be downloaded to your operating system. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty statistical data. I have one very important fact to share with you, and it has to do with the usage of the operating systems within the United States. So the Android operating system overall users within the US comes in at 39%, where Apple iOS overall users in the United States comes in at 51.26%. So, as you can see, iOS is overall a better operating system than the Android. This, of course, is based on my own personal experiences, some common knowledge, as well as that statistical data. And just remember, numbers do speak for themselves, and in the United States, over 59% of smartphone users choose the Apple iOS.